Hey everybody, welcome. This is Hiro in central Tokyo, Hiroo if you don't know, a stop from Roppongi. I like to come here. It's a really big foreign population in this area because of the embassies and consulates that are in this area, mostly embassies because Tokyo is the capital of Japan. So there's a lot of foreign residents. That means there's a lot of foreign supermarkets. That means I can get most stuff for Thanksgiving here. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's watching here. I'm going to talk about the visa fee hikes. I gotten a ton of direct messages from people on Instagram, on Patreon, on Facebook, a lot of social media about this. First of all, if you haven't already, this is the newest drop on the main channel. This is from a hiking trail, mountain villages, from the Shin-Etsu Trail. It's an edited video, about 25 minutes, that will take you to another world that shows why this country is just so amazing. If you haven't had a chance, go check this out right after this. Make sure you like it. And there's something called hype points or something. You can hype it. I don't even know what that means, but somebody was telling me about it the other day, so I appreciate that very much. Visa fees look like they're going to be exploding, but it's all just a proposal now, so hang on. Second, they haven't risen. They raised the fees in April, like marginally. I think it was like a 20% raise. But before that, visa fees hadn't, this is for residents in particular, hadn't gone up in 40 some years. We're talking 4 decades. We're talking the 1980s when the yen was quite strong back then, and now it's not. But there are reasons behind the visa hike proposal, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, but you just never can tell. However, 2026 doesn't look like the year. It looks like these proposals will be ratified and put into effect in 2027, so there is some time before that happens. However, it is really good to know that there are some issues with this, and we will talk about it in this live stream. Let's get right to it here. First off, well, we already know for sure the recent and upcoming fee increases. It says the signal might be unstable in this region. I'm sorry about that. So we do know in April the fee went from 4,000 to 6,000 yen. Also applying for permanent residency went from 8,000 to 10,000 yen. That's a drop in the bucket. That's not really that much. It's a lot of money, but it's not that much money considering these fees hadn't changed in like 40 years or something ridiculous, right? So it's been a really long time. Every time the street crosses, I think the signal gets weird. However, the new proposals being considered is to raise much more steeply in the future. The government has reportedly laid out plans to raise fees for visa renewal to 30 to 40,000 yen. That's going from 4,000 yen, which is about $30, to 30,000 yen, which is about $200. That's a pretty significant increase, I would say. That would represent a 5 to 7% increase over renewals from the current post-2025 fee and 10 times more for permanent residency. They want to charge Juma yen, or 100,000 yen for that. That's about $700. But if you compare this to other countries, it's about on par, actually. It's just Japan has been keeping the fees just so low. It reminds me of the Japan Rail Pass. The Japan Rail Pass had not risen its fees in like decades. And when they rose the fees, they didn't just do it in small increments like the post office does with postage stamps. They did it like rip the bandage right off, get right from like 1980 prices to 2025 prices, like right away. And that's probably the smart thing. Get the media and everybody out of the way, get everybody up to speed, and then release these prices like this. That seems to make a lot of sense, right? I'd like to hear what all of you think about that as well. But there's a lot of misconceptions about the media reports right now. Of course there is. That said, for short-term visas, tourist stays and stuff, the government is reportedly preparing to raise fees during the 2026 fiscal. So if you're coming here on like your visa free, there might be fees for you to depart or to come in. I don't really know. It's still kind of a proposal still, but those look like they're going to be taking effect before the residency fees take effect. So if you're thinking of getting permanent residency, you probably want to do it now. In other words, if you hold a residence visa and you're thinking about renewal extensions, they're likely in 2027. So 2026 does not seem like the year, but who knows? Happy Thanksgiving. I see a lot of people here from the US writing in here. I appreciate it, guys. As of April 1st, 2025, they raised the fees slightly but obviously it's not enough. I'm going to show you why the fee raising is probably really important. The new proposal is being considered to raise more steadily in the future. The government has repeatedly laid out plans to raise fees. I think we've already discussed this. So basically, what we're still uncertain about is how much the fees are going to be. And these are still a draft proposal. That means it could be not done. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. I'm pretty sure they're going to raise the fees, but we don't exactly know how much and when. That's the guessing game. So with that, it becomes a sort of a media story. However, this is such a big number. 4 million. The number of foreign residents in Japan as of the end of June hit a record high of 4 million people. When I got here in 1998, it was a little bit over 1 million. So it's about almost a 4 times increase in the foreign population, where I couldn't see a foreign face that often, and now I could see a lot more. 1 in 10 in Tokyo is a foreigner now. That's pretty crazy. You can see since 2000, again, when I got here in 1998, it was just maybe a little bit over 1 million. There really wasn't a lot of growth you could see between 2000 and 2010. Actually, 2000 and 2015. Japan was not a place that people wanted to come. It was a place where people they thought was too expensive or a weird country or something. And then all of a sudden, when YouTube really exploded and people like me promoted it, I guess, I don't know, a lot of people wanted to come here, and then for good reason. I'm really happy that finally people can understand why I love Japan so much. Maybe that helped, I don't know, but you can see the rise in the population, and since then the fees have stayed the same, as though you had less than 1 million foreign residents and very few tourists. The fee has stayed the same because we wanted to encourage tourists to come to Japan. Now, Japan is now one of the most popular destinations in the world to go to visit. I think it's time to step on the gas and just raise the fees, because people are going to come anyways, because you've broken out into the stratosphere of tourist destinations. So it makes a lot of sense to do that. Do you like it? Nobody likes it, but it's not just Japan. It's everywhere around the world, unless they're trying to get tourists to come to visit, and in that case, they probably want to lower it, but it looks like this is the future anyways, right? Let's look at an article from the Japan Times, which I believe comes from Bloomberg or from Kyoto News. Japan Times, one of the newspapers that's also an aggregator, which is why this isn't in their behind their paywall, I believe. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But it's a good publication. Japan is planning to raise the fees related to visas and residential status to match those of Western nations. I don't think that's the only reason, but it makes a lot of sense. Foreign nationals currently pay only 6,000 yen, $38 fee to extend their residential status. Media report said the government plans to raise the fee 5 to 6-fold, around 30 to 40,000. And why stop there? That's my question. 10,000 fee to apply for permanent residency is also expected to 100,000 yen. That's a lot. The fees had only been raised several months ago. In April, the fee to extend foreign national residential status was raised from 4,000 to 6,000. So they just raised it, but first time in 44 years, the government aims to raise Japan's relatively low fees. That's the first time in 44 years. Fees to those of similar to Western countries. That makes a lot of sense. German fees are like 20,000 yen. So that's pretty expensive. And in the US, it's like, it is pretty much like 100,000 yen. With an expected annual additional revenue of tens of billions of yen, Japan reportedly will allocate more funds to processing foreign residents. Yeah, right. Japan had a record 4 million foreign residents here. Chinese nationals by far make the largest group of immigrants in Japan, will be among the residents most affected. The hike forms part of a 21.3 trillion economic stimulus package by Friday by the Prime Minister Takaichi, who is well known as a hardline stance on immigration. I don't like that they I don't think it's a hard line. I think it's a common sense one. For the plan likes, the government will need to amend the laws that sets a 10,000 yen cap on visa-related fees. The cap hasn't been revised since 1981. That's crazy. Along with foreign residents, inbound tourists will also be paying more for the foreign ministry. And this is all, the additional revenues will be used to combat over-tourism. Yeah, right. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know where the fees go. Where do the fees go? Where have the improvements really happened? I'll tell you this. If you go to the Shinagawa Immigration Center, and there's some nice people there. I really like the people there. I don't like the center. it hasn't changed much since it first opened. I think I went there in the 1990s. Yeah, in the beginning of the 2000s, it felt kind of new then. It looks like a prison now. The carpets are all stained. The bathrooms smell funny. It's a weird, not clean place. It hasn't seen much renovations in like decades. So you can see, I'm bringing this up for a reason. They really haven't had the revenue to do much of that. They just have so many people, they can't close that down. You've seen the increase, right? The increase of foreign residents, especially to Tokyo. The result of that is that they're just so busy, they can't close it down for renovations. And they don't have the funds to do it. And now with this, perhaps they'll build a nice new immigration center, or more than one, in different areas of Tokyo to help to process that, because going to Chofu, I think, was an option, or Tachikawa for some foreign residents in Tokyo. You didn't have to go to Shinagawa, you could go to the countryside, but even then, that's busy now. So maybe the additional revenue will help to offset that, but I don't know where the money goes, to be honest with you, as I look at a Porsche behind me. That's a Ferrari. It's a pretty sweet ride. Sorry about that. If the video's lagging, I'll upload this later. I'll load this later. This is a little bit of a tidbit here. The foreign population was 581,112, or 4.2% of the total population in Tokyo. So Tokyo has, I think this is a little bit old. Tokyo has 5% of Tokyo's population is foreign. About 1 in 10 of the people living in central Tokyo, not the Tokyo, the prefecture, central Tokyo, are non-Japanese. You won't really tell if you're a Westerner, because you'll see a lot of people from neighboring countries that you might associate with being Japanese who can speak Japanese, so it's hard to tell. Most common nationality among the foreigners living in Tokyo is Chinese, followed by South Korean and Vietnamese. And a lot of the South Koreans were born in Japan, which is weird. I always thought it was weird. You're born in Japan, but you have a South Korean passport. It goes by blood, folks. Japan is not a melting pot, not yet. And I hope in a way, I hope it never does. I think Japan should stay Japan, but I'm different. Edogawa Ward had 38,000, followed by a Dutch ward. Of course, Shinjuku led the way. My ward of Chuoku, not so much. Now, you know what? There's a lot of foreign residents, but I would say there's a lot of Japanese residents too. So it's hard. I see less foreign faces in Chuo Ward than I do in Shibuya and Shinjuku. But Minato Ward, definitely because of the embassies. That's where we are. I believe this is Minato Ward too. So it's very, very fascinating, right? Be fascinating. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We don't know for sure, but short-term tourists probably next year, long-term residents in probably 2027. Will the fees go up? Almost definitely. Dimmy writes in here, Dimmy, I'm on it. I saw this yesterday, and it's another live streamer was attacked here by a tout in Shinjuku. I wouldn't live stream at night in Shinjuku, I don't know. But he was hit in the head pretty hard. Of course the police didn't catch him. I don't think they looked so hard. Live streaming in Shinjuku in a crowded area, probably not the smartest thing in these days, but it's something I'll talk about tonight or tomorrow. How about that? 1 second. I'll talk about this tonight or tomorrow. I think it's a really interesting topic. I'm always worried about my own safety. I don't announce where I'm going to be in advance as much. I don't give out the "you found me" cards so much, because there is an increase in violence. And I've been doing this for a long time when what I'm doing was very rare. Now it's all over the place, so it makes it more prevalent. And because of that 1% that just annoys the heck out of the people, that's why people like this person, I'm not sure who he is, but he got hit and I feel really bad for him. That should never happen. But you have to be careful. This is another reason to upgrade to the new iPhone, because maybe you get a little bit of the blur. So you can avoid that if you can blur out the people in the background. I think that'd be a great feature, to have a slight background blur with this, so that you don't get people's faces, you don't get in trouble. I try to be very mindful of that. But I mean, if you don't want to be in the video, don't be in the video hitting somebody. You just went from somebody walking by to notorious. So it's an interesting take. I'll talk about that tonight or tomorrow morning. But until then, make sure you check out the newest video on the main channel, this one right here. I guarantee you it's going to make your Thanksgiving holiday a nice one. It's a nice one. And I am very much into the, my legs are feeling it. I'm ramping up for the Tokyo Marathon training. 16 kilometers yesterday. I like to run along the river, no traffic lights. Pace was okay. I'm going slower than I normally would, around under 5 minutes a kilometer for training. But I'm a little bit older, so I'm taking it slow. But I'm taking this serious, folks. We're gonna ramp this up, and we're gonna win respect. But we will see. What is this? There are Japan's Black Friday sales are on similar products on Amazon Japan, Amazon US. They're a lot less, so you don't get like half off. The Apple Watch Ultra 2, for example, which I was thinking of getting for running. If you guys want to tell me about that, if you have that one, let me know, because I'm thinking about getting one. I don't know if it's useful. But the Ultra 2 in the US is 25% off, and the Ultra 2 in Japan is 5% off. So that gives you an idea. Marathon is March 1st, so I have a good 3 months to train, and I'll get there. I had a fairly good base and got in decent shape after the pandemic, so I'll be okay. All right, guys, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate the questions. I might re-upload this, but if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will see you and thank you to Cody for signing up to the Patreon club. I appreciate it. I saw that coming in earlier. So your postcards, I sent out 12 postcards this morning. So thanks everybody who's been supporting with the postcard club. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, the Black Friday stuff started around November 11th, but the sales were weird. I think maybe the real ones are coming later. Oh, hey, here's Eddie Booth. Thank you. I got your super thanks as well. I'm so appreciative of it, and I sent you a response on Patreon as well. Welcome to the community, and thank you. And thank you, and then happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm gonna go to the store to stock up on some Thanksgiving stuff. I'm cooking, so I gotta get home. That's why it's kind of a shorter live stream than usual, but again, we'd love to hear from you. See you tonight with a full belly, or tomorrow morning as I recover from what I'm about to cook. Either because I'm full or it was just so bad. I don't know which one. All right. I'm really not sure yet, but you guys are here with me. Take care from Hiro. Mata ne.